Take a look at this beauty, y'all. Look at this old saw. Holy cow. So this was another one of the trinkets that I found during my pickings. Found this thing underneath a shelf, buried with other stuff inside of a garage, and I just had to pick her. I mean, look at it. I've always wanted an old XL12 or a Super XL. I wasn't really worried about which one I would get. These two model of saws are just so iconic, it's not even funny. They're known for their reliability, their simplicity, their overbuilt stoutness. I mean, you name it. These saws just have things that some saws today don't even have. It's in such good shape. I mean, I just did the basics as you would with any old engine. Take the carb off, clean it, slap it back on, put some fuel in her, and she pops away, no problem. This one's all complete. Even has this early version of a brake, a chain brake, although it's not a brake, it's just a shield there, designed to try and catch your hand and make it to where that blade doesn't get towards your noggin. Pretty simple saw. You got your bar, you got your chain, got your pull start. Your oil fill is over here. Your fuel fill is right here. And I'll zoom in and get some better angles for you so you guys can see it. If I turn it around to the operator's end over here, got your on-off switch. Nice old metal on-off switch. I really like that. Got your manual oil pump here. This thing is also, the reason why it says automatic on the side there, right there, is it automatically oils your chain, but if you need an extra squirt or two, there's your hand pump right there. Got your throttle, but you also have a throttle lock system right there, which is pretty cool. Full throttle if you need to give her the juices. Choke, and then your spark plug, and that's it. That is all the functions of this saw. I'll take the carb or the air filter off here so you guys can get a picture of it. Very simple saw to work on, at least if you're doing basic minimal work to it. I'm sure it's a little bit more complicated when taking these old saws apart. There's a lot of parts to them. You've got your air filter right there. You just pop that sucker off. Come on, baby. There we go. And you got your carburetor right there. There's your throttle linkage. There's your choke linkage on the other side. Right here you have an adjustable idler screw popping through right here, putting a little bit of tension on that lever right there. But if you pop on over to the other side here, if I can zoom in enough, right there, whoop, she's getting blurry. Come on. There we go. Right there is your low needle. Right there is your high needle. And that is pretty much it for the functions of this saw. Very basic, very reliable. I mean, this thing, I don't know how long this thing's been sitting. Maybe 20 years. There was a couple other saws that I picked from that place, and so I'm sure this one might have just gotten replaced. Used very little, got it replaced, and then it just sat where she sat for who knows how many years. But she was a little stubborn to get started. I had to spray some explosive juice, about 2 pounds of explosive juice in the car before she finally started to draw fuel. Also blew the line out with an air hose from this end into the tank just to make sure there wasn't any crud in there. I'm sure there's a fuel pickup in there that might have been a little clogged or something, but hopefully I solved that issue. But we're going to go ahead and fire her up and give her a test run too on a piece of wood. I'm going to have to go and find a piece of wood somewhere around here. But she's a pretty slow old girl compared to modern day saws. The RPMs aren't up there as much, but that doesn't matter. She just crawls through that wood like it's nothing. This chain here is sharp as shit, so yeah, it's not going to stop for nothing. But we're going to go ahead and fire her up. So we'll turn our on switch on, Don't need any choke. We just give her a couple pops. She runs really good. I got the carb adjusted as best I could, and I think I got her where she wanted to be. God, I love the sound of these old saws. There's just something about them that just screams mean. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not entirely sure. I've heard people say you have to kind of hold this open when you shut it off, but I haven't had any trouble with that. The only trouble I had when I first got this saw is the recoil was not wanting to recoil the string back in. So I had to pop the cover off and spray a little WD-40 in there. But now she works perfect. I guess I might have to use that method and hold it a little bit up and then shut her off. I'm not sure if that damages the spring in there or something. I'm not real familiar with old chainsaws, but I do have an old Homelite 150 automatic. Actually, I have two of them now because I picked another one, same spot as this guy. And I tell you what, the one bad thing about these saws is the vibration that you get when you're holding these things. Oh my Lord! It's gonna turn your forearms into mincemeat in no time. I was holding this thing for maybe 5 minutes yesterday, and this part of my forearm already hurts. I mean, not only the vibration, but the weight of these things is just unreal. It's crazy that you would carry this thing around for 10 hours a day, chopping and felling trees. It is nuts. So we're going to go ahead and find a piece of wood, and we're going to put this old gold to work. How's that sound? Okay, so I got a nice sized log here. I'm going to see how this old girl is going to do against this. The chain is just a wee bit loose. I'm going to have to figure out how to put some tension on that, but it should be good. Hopefully we have enough fuel in here too. I didn't put too much in to get some work done. So let's fire her up and see how she does. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say that this thing cuts like it's brand spanking new. I had no trouble cutting through any of that. I'm sure it could cut through way thicker wood as well. Seems like when it's warmed up, she wants to go really low on the idle, so I'm going to have to maybe do a little bit more carb adjusting on it. But aside from that, the oiler works. The throttle is responsive as hell. And this thing is just ready to go to work whenever you are. So that's what makes these old things so tough and reliable, you know. But I will say, when you're trying to get up and hold that thing over your head, oh man, you're gonna wear your arms out quicker than what you can imagine. That is for sure. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more content. And Yamasaki out. We'll see y'all later.